Port Hueneme Agency regular meeting. I'm calling this meeting to order. The time is now 4:00 p.m. Madam Clerk, can you please take roll?
Alternate Member Debley,
Here.
Member Martinez,
Present.
Member Hernandez,
Here.
Vice Chair McQueen-Lejeune,
Here.
and Chair LeBeau.
Present. We'll now hear public comments. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. Madam Clerk, does anyone have public comment?
No public comments.
Okay, on our agenda today is approval of the agenda. May I have a motion and second to approve the agenda?
Move to approve.
Second?
All in
Clerk?
favor? Sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. We will now consider items on the consent calendar, which will be enacted in one motion unless there is a request to pull an item for discussion. May I have a motion and a second to approve the consent calendar?
I have a request to pull item 2, Register of Disbursements. I've got just a question for my own education. So I'll make the motion then to approve items 1 and 3. Well, do we need a second to pull the item?
I would say if there's a second to that motion to approve 1 and 3, then that does pull the item.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, great.
Move to approve items 1, 3, and 4.
Number 4 is a business item, so it'd just be items 1 and 3.
Okay, 1 and 3, sorry.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, may you please take a vote?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
City Clerk, looks like I may be looking at maybe an old version of the agenda. Can you clarify what are the consent items?
So the consent items are item number 1 is the minutes. Item number 2 is the Register of Disbursements. Item number 3, the Conflict of Interest Code. 4 is a business item, which is the monthly operational report. So I'm not sure if what you're currently viewing is possibly the minutes.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so that is
So
correct.
we had a motion by Vice Chair McQueen-Lejeune, a second by alternate Debley to approve consent calendar items 1 and 3 and to pull item 2, Register of Disbursements. All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Okay. All those opposed? Hearing none, motion passes unanimously.
Okay, so we're going to go to the discussion on item 2, disbursements.
Mhm.
Sorry, I didn't mean to throw things off so badly. I just had a question about the repair to the, this is check number 5772, West Coast Electric Motors, a payment of $8,203.96. I'm not questioning the expenditure or the amount in any way. I'm just curious to know what the repair was, just for my own education, because I like this stuff and want to learn.
Sure. So good afternoon, PHWA Board and Director Hernandez. To your question, so the SMP, so when we run water through our filters, our membranes, 20% of that water goes to our SMP tank, which is located at the facility in the corner of the property. It's about 20 feet deep. We have a series of 3 pumps there. And once that tank fills up, we pump that water out. It goes to Hueneme Road, and that's when it gets introduced into the SMP line, which Cayugas owns. But this pump is owned and maintained by PHWA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So is that a tank, or is it actually, you said it was 20 feet underground?
It's an underground tank, yes.
It's an underground tank.
Yes.
Okay. And this is done on a regular basis? Or how often?
Those pumps have to be rebuilt about every 3 years.
Oh, okay.
So you will see it quite often, yeah.
Okay.
So,
I think I need another tour out there, but yes, thank you.
anytime. Uh-huh.
Appreciate that. Okay, I have no further questions and recommend, like to motion to approve item 2, disbursements.
Second.
Madam Clerk, may we please have a vote?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, motion passes unanimously.
We'll now move on to our business items and number 4 on our agenda, which is the monthly operational report. Will staff please present the report?
All right, thank you, Chair LeBeau. So I just want to give a quick update to the board. There's been a lot going on the last few months. With the water year ending September 30th, I wanted to give an update on allocation, how much we purchased compared to what our allocation is. So just want to give you guys an update, and then I'll talk about some CIP projects that have been happening over the last few months. So this first slide, you can see we purchased 3,295 acre feet, which was about 89% of our supply that we purchased, and then the other 11% being Callegas. This last water year, we purchased 300 acre feet more than we did the previous year, which is a good thing. We're trying to maximize our groundwater and minimize our state water based on costs. And that kind of leads us into, well, here's a 2-year consumption. So you can see every month we purchased more groundwater over the last 2 years. So pretty evident there. And again, that's our goal. And then here's our state water. So you can see here, this is a 10-year snapshot. So you can see in the past we purchased a lot of state water, which is very costly for PHWA. In the last 2 years, we made some adjustments, and you can see it's come way down. And that's just making the operators have been doing a great job making adjustments, changing things, tank levels, timings of when pumps kick on and off, and they've really done a great job, and you can see it there. We also have some projects that were put in the budget in June that will make this number go even lower, which we're excited about, and I'll kind of talk about that as well. So here's a timeline. Most of the board members were here, some of them, but I just wanted to show kind of where we started and where we're at now. So in 2019, staff and the board, we did a water master plan in 2019. From 2019 to 2023, there wasn't a whole lot of movement for whatever reason. Then 2023, we regathered staff and the board. We did a strategic planning workshop. And in that, the board kind of gave staff direction as to if we want to go through with CIP projects, kind of just laid out a plan. So that happened in 2023. And then the operational audit we did this year, we went back in, looked at the water master plan, updated it, added a few projects. And then in June, when we passed the budget, we included these projects in the budget, which typically doesn't happen. So that happened in June. The blue dials you see there, these are all projects that are either complete or are in progress right now. The low flow pump project, I know you've heard about this. This project is 100% complete. We've been testing it. We've been running it every day. This is going to be a cost savings of PHW for sure. So instead of purchasing higher state water during low flow situations, which is during the winter from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m., we're typically at 100% on state water at that time. And usually it's for about 4 to 5 months out of the year. So it equivalates to about 60 to 80 acre feet a year of unnecessary state water purchase. So we're excited. Once we get the low flow, once we get that scenario in the winter, we'll put that pump to use, and there will be a huge cost savings for PHWA. The next project there, the waste discharge manhole. This is a pretty simple project, but something that needed to be rehabbed. This is where our discharge goes. Simple project, took about 3 days, and that's 100% complete. The hydraulic analysis. So this is a precursor to the United Direct Connection project. So this is pretty much done. I haven't received the final report yet, but it does look like we are going to move forward with the United Direct Connection project. We just need to meet with the Navy and the member agencies because we're going to be lowering the discharge pressure slightly. So we just want to get an okay from them, and then we'll submit that report to the board. The tank dive inspection, we did this a few weeks back. We sent a diver in the tank, took video, pictures, and we're waiting to get that report back. We should get it within the next 2 weeks. and that's going to tell us, how much our tank rehab is going to cost us. So in the CIP schedule, that was supposed to be in, I believe, calendar or fiscal year 26, 27, but we may need to move that up a little bit based on what the report says. So I'll report back next time we meet on that. And then the bag filter replacement. This is currently in design. It's almost complete, and we look to go out to bid within the next 3 or 4 months on the bag filter replacement. So just want to show the board kind of where we started, where we're at, and there's been a lot going on since June, since we put those projects in the budget. And here's just a few. So this is a low flow pump project. We're looking to save $60,000 annually on state water, and this is pretty conservative. And then on take or pay penalty, $23,000. And then the project total cost was about $58,000. So it's going to pay for itself in the first year, which is definitely a good thing. Discharge manhole rehab. Again, this is a pretty simple project, but it was on the list, so we knocked it out. And it's 100%. It's complete. And total cost was around 10K. So here's the bag filter. Bag filter, it's tired. It's got a lot of moving parts. We're having trouble getting replacement parts. It's still running okay now, but this is going to be a complete replace or remove and replace project. So this is in design, and we should go out to bid in the next few months on this. And this should only take about a week to complete once construction starts. And this is the first source of filtration at the plant. So we kind of say this kind of captures the bottle caps and pebbles and stuff. But so this is crucial. We get this complete before we get new membranes. We want to make sure this is done to protect our new membranes in the future. So that's all I have. I just wanted to give the board an update, let you guys know I appreciate, we got to put these projects in the budget. With an operational background, we're all excited to knock these projects out. And just want to let you know that things are moving and happening at the facility. So.
And if I could just note too, I just want to give credit to Dennis and his team. He showed that chart that shows the amount of state water we're purchasing, and we're at record lows for us as a city in recent years. And these projects are planned to actually keep us at that level, or maybe even improve from there. So, we're already at like a record almost efficiency, and Dennis and his team just keep working on projects to keep working towards that. And if state water levels are low for us, then that keeps our costs low. So that's really the key thing. So I just want to give credit to Dennis and his team who've been working on these projects aggressively. So.
Yeah, thank you for your report, and thank you to you and your team for all the hard work. Does anybody on the agency have any questions?
I do have one question. Dennis, thank you for the report. My question is related to the project that you said was scheduled for 26, 27, and it might move up. Are there any financial implications for that if it comes earlier than planned?
No. I did talk to the company that came and did the dive and inspection, and kind of they're saying that if we wait longer, this project could cost a lot more. So once I get the report, we can kind of make a decision. The board can give us direction. And he's saying if we wait even a year longer, it's going to cost us a lot more. I don't have a number yet, but it might be better to knock it out as soon as we can.
And funding is not an issue to do that?
No,
Okay.
no.
Thank you.
And to add to that, the United Direct Connection project, it's crucial we get that done before we do the tank, because if we don't, we're going to be on state water for 3 months possibly, and that would, so it all the projects kind of tie together, and we're trying to do them in a certain order. But again, I'll bring that back once you get the final report on the tank dive inspection, and then board can give us direction at that time.
I have a couple of questions. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Martinez, for your report and the good work you're doing. I have a question about the dive inspection. When was the last time we did a dive inspection on the
It
tank?
was in 2020, I believe.
Okay,
Yeah.
I seem to recall.
Yeah.
When
2019 or 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, when you get the report, will we be able to see any footage from that, or what it looks like? What does the report end up looking like?
There is video. They do supply video, and I'm sure we can show that here if you guys want
I
to
would
see
love
it.
to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they supply still photos as well. But it's clear, and you can see exactly what's going on.
That would be great. That would be great. And then the bag filtration system. When you said everything needs to be replaced, I saw the tubing, the vertical tubing, and then the large pipe that leads to it. Are you saying all of that needs to be replaced?
Yeah, not the large piping feeding into it, just the vertical filters
The
itself.
vertical
Yeah.
filters. And why is it called a bagging filter? Are there actual bags inside?
There is. There's
Okay.
bags in, yeah. And so the new style we're gonna get, it's called a cartridge filter. It's a little bit, it does the same thing, but there's less moving parts. It doesn't do I don't wanna get too technical, but it doesn't do a backwash. So every week this thing backwashes and it wastes water. I mean, with the cartridge filter, it doesn't have a backwash, so we'll save water costs there as well.
And does it receive more wear and tear because of the debris that it processes, the bottle caps and the pebbles? Is that hard on the system, which requires it to be replaced on occasion?
It
Or
is, but this is original. This is from 97, 98, so it's
Oh,
held
wow,
up
that's a
well.
long
I
time.
mean, the water we receive from United, it's potable, so it's not, they're not getting hit very hard, honestly, but it's original equipment, and it's just time to be replaced, yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of new facilities, they're going to cartridge filters, which is what we want to put in. It's kind of a new technology, and it's a smaller footprint as well.
Okay. All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And I do have a question later on before we adjourn. It has to do with the water billing. Would I ask that here, or would that be in a regular city council meeting?
I would say if you want to bring it up under the agency members' reports, and then if it's something we could address and answer quickly, we will. And if it turns into more of a council discussion, then we'll let you know. But I would say bring it up under the agency members' reports and comments.
Okay, thank you.
I did have one quick question about the tank dive. I know you're waiting on the formal report. Did he give you any kind of, or she give you any kind of informal oral report? And was the condition kind of what we basically expected, or were there any surprises?
It's kind of what we expected, but there is a lot of work that needs to be done, and it's not going to be cheap. So that's why we want to jump on it as soon as we can. Yeah, but at the same time, we don't want to have the tank down for 3 months and have to purchase state water. So, like I said, everything's kind of tied together. So, yep.
Thank you. Do you have any further questions? Are there any public comments regarding this item?
No public comments.
Thank you. The recommendation is to receive and file the monthly operational report. May I have a motion and a second.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any further agency comments? Hearing
Oh.
none.
Oh, is that when I can, oh, not yet, okay.
Madam Clerk, can you please take a vote?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, motion passes unanimously.
Moving along, time now for any agency members' reports, comments, and requests for future agenda items. I'd like to remind agency members that all requested items will require a motion, a second, and a majority vote to be placed on a future agenda. Does anyone have any reports, comments, or requests for future agenda items?
Okay,
Ms.
so,
What, any questions?
yeah, so I don't know if this is the right venue for this question, but I was wondering if we could get a report on how the transition of the bill payment is going. Would that happen here, or does that happen at council?
I think there's enough of a connection that we could do it here, and I guess I'll answer it briefly. I know we're talking about future agenda items, and then the question would be if the board feels there's a need to have a future agenda item to get it. But we are in the middle of we're in like year 2 of our transition into our Tyler financial system, and it's essentially changing the way we do everything. And one of those things is how we've been doing utility billing and how we accept payments. And so right now, I think about maybe the last 3 or 4 weeks, we've been converting over to this billing system, and so people who had auto pay, for example, have to re-sign up and go through the process with this new Tyler system and sign up. And we can do a more thorough report if desired, but I think the short version is whenever there's change, it's going to cause some frustration, especially, I mean, I always when we talk about it as our staff, I say I'm the perfect test subject that I set all my bills on auto pay, and if I have to redo it, I get frustrated because I don't want to think about it for years and years. And so we've heard some of that, and then we did have one round of when we first implemented it, I think the first round of payments when it was supposed to take the payments automatically, they didn't take them on the day that everybody's used to it being taken on. So we've been having to communicate to people about kind of that change. So we're in the midst of it. I would say at this point, it's kind of just going the way change goes. I wouldn't say particularly well or particularly poorly, but we're in the middle of it. So by the next meeting, if you guys want to report on, if the board wants to report on that, we can provide more, and we'll have a little bit more knowledge of how it's gone at that point. But I'll give credit, the finance department is actually like personally reaching out to like people who had auto pay, and if they haven't submitted for auto pay again, they're reaching out to those people and making sure that they're aware that that change is happening. And we're working with people as far as any like late payments due to this transition. We're planning to be as flexible as we can with them. So
That's good to know.
yeah, so that's just the short report on that.
Okay, thank you. Kind of answers my question, so thank you.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any reports, comments, or requests for future agenda items? No? My only comment will be go Dodgers.
By the next meeting, we'll have new world champions.
Yes. The next regular meeting is scheduled for Monday, November 18th, 2024 at 4 p.m. With no further comments, I'd like to adjourn the meeting. The time is now 4:22 p.m.